Williamsburg, Colonial Williamsburg, and we have a lovely young lady here who's going to give us a tour telling us all about the way they have raised vegetables and made their own fencing and organic ways of growing things.
A lot of our sticks we use are from a sycamore. So we pollard it, which is an old-fashioned way of pruning from the same spot every year, so you get sucker sticks. So these canes are 1 year's growth, and you have no laterals. That's the second year you get the lateral shoots. So by pruning every year, you got perfect sticks, nice and straight. These are our marrow-fat peas. It's an old variety used for making mushy peas, peas porridge. Another form of fencing, this is from a purple European willow. And as you can see, it actually is budding and it rooted in.
Oh, yeah.
But, so if you wanted a fence to be permanent, you could let it root in and you'd have to trim it. But we try to keep ours cleaned up so they don't shade the peas out.
I see.
But the willow is perfect for nice bendable structures.
So even in colonial times they had shade cloths for this.
This is actually to keep the cabbage moth out. Cabbage butterfly, excuse me.
Excellent, yeah.
We
all have trouble with that.
Oh, yes, because we do not use any spraying methods, of course, or dusting.
Right.
So that's quite effective.
And you don't need pollinators for cabbage, so that isn't a problem.
Unless you were trying to save seed.
Yes.
This is actually a really interesting method for tomatoes. This is called a table trellis. And the way this is built is so the tomato grows up through it and then will creep along the top.
Excellent.
And it's a method to keep any viruses and fungal diseases off the leaves and keeps the tomatoes up off the ground and easy picking.
Great. Great.
This structure is used for our cucumbers. Very easy, saves space. And this is another type of trellising that's very easy. It's just branches from the woods. We just trimmed down a bunch of branches, stuck them in. This is a shorter variety of pea. So when these are done, we'll just roll up the whole fence and compost. Not many people are familiar with our artichokes and cardoons.
I don't even know what a cardoon is.
Cardoon is in the same genus and species actually, but instead of the flower, you're eating the stalk of it. You use it like a celery substitute, really good in soups and stews.
Cool, that's big.
And of course our wattle fences are just really nice for a country look. During colonial times they used them for making raised beds so you could do a really tight weave to hold the soil
Now,
in.
do they have to be green and soft when you weave them like that and then they turn hard, or how are they done?
We're about 3 months old before I finally had time to use them, so they were still bendable enough. But if you can use them, the fresher you use them, the more bendable they're going to be.
Right. What else we got growing here?
We have melons, different kinds of melons here, parsnips, Swiss chard. This is a neat plant I just planted the other day. It's called woad.
Woad.
W-O-D-E?
W-O-D-E?
W-O-A-D.
Okay.
It's used for blue dye.
Oh.
So the weavers will be using that.
So is it a flower head that comes up that is blue that you use for dye? Or
It's actually in the leaves.
Wow.
The leaves
They
are
look
like
green,
that.
but they give you blue dye.
This is a fun, really delicious vegetable. This is called Salsify.
I've heard of it, but I never knew what it was.
And it's the roots that you're using.
Okay.
The roots are like a faux oyster used in the time for, it's exactly like oysters.
Wow.
And this is in its second year when it's blooming. It's a really pretty blossom, so even if you want to grow it ornamentally.
Is it hard to find seed for that, or can you get it in most seed catalogs?
It's common in England today. Americans aren't familiar with it, but you could find it in an heirloom seed company.
Right.
Would most likely have
Now,
it.
are those called cloches down there, the little glass top?
Cloche is a French term, so in colonial times we're referring it to bell jars, what we call them.
Right.
Because we're not too fond of the French yet.
Understandable.
And leeks in their second year are beautiful. A lot of people don't realize you get...
Those are plain leeks.
This is just a plain garden leek.
I've got itty bitty ones growing in my garden. It just sure doesn't look anything like that.
So if you let it go in its second year, it is a gorgeous blossom, and then you get all those seeds. It's lovely.
So they're the alum family.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Now, is this spinach here? It's awful big. What is that?
This is Swiss chard.
Swiss chard. Okay. Yeah, mine's rainbow, so it looks a little different. But yeah, I can see how that's Swiss chard now.
Yes, in the beet family, we're calling it white beets in the 18th century. Some other things that are ripening up, we're going to be harvesting within the week, is our garlic. We have a soft neck and a hard neck. Shallots. They're all coming along nicely.
Garlic.
They look like they have a pretty little bloom, too.
They do. We have some more melons. Lumper potatoes. This is a very old variety.
Bumper potatoes.
Lumper potatoes.
Lumper potatoes.
This is celery. A lot of people don't know that the best celery is when you put it in a trench.
I didn't know that.
And that's how you get nice white tender stalks. This is a neat plant. This plant is called rape. Today, it's our source of canola oil, or rapeseed oil.
Yep.
So it's coming from the seeds.
Let's see, there's seed pods. Oh, yeah.
Little black seeds that would be crushed for oil.
Yep.
And we have celeriac, or celery root. A delicious root vegetable. Can't really see it, most of it. It forms like a softball size root that you clean up, and you can cube it, put it in your mashed potatoes, put it in your soups. Really nice, strong celery flavor.
Do you know what zones that grows in particularly? How far north it can go?
That can grow, it's a colder crop, so it definitely can go colder.
Just like celery would be a colder crop.
Yes, yes. It actually would even do better farther north. Radishes, a lot of people don't realize that the best part of the radish is actually the pods. So after they flower,
Who knew they had pods if you didn't let it flower, right?
Delicious, crunchy pod that tastes like a radish.
I just
really
pulled all my radish.
Oh, no! And it's also a really quick way of having seeds, lots of seeds.
I did something wrong, and I had all leaves, and the radishes on the bottom were like minuscule, so I yanked them out. But if I left them, I could have had some pods probably.
They're delicious just thrown in a salad, or you can, in colonial times, they would pickle the bigger ones and use them later. They're delicious.
Well, I'll have to try that.
And what else? We have our herbs, of course. I don't know if you're interested in talking about herbs.
Yes, definitely. We grow herbs and teas. Do you have any tea type things here as well?
We do, yes. Horehound has been traditionally used for centuries as a cough drop, cough syrup.
I've ordered some seed. I haven't planted it, so I don't know how.
It's real easy. You just stick it in a corner somewhere, and there it'll stay forever.
And how do you actually process it for use? Is it the root or the leaf?
You make a syrup from the leaves, I believe. You dry it first, and then you make a syrup.
I actually like horehound candy.
Yeah, it is. It's tasty. Valerian is used for insomnia, anxiety, muscle tension, and that's the root is what you're using from that.
Okay.
Really
Valerian.
nice flower. It's pretty much St. John's wort. Of course, we know that as for depression. It can be used for.
They make teas out of it.
I believe they use it in teas. Lemon balm is an excellent way for making tea. It's very good for your throat, for low immunity. And some unusual ones, elecampane is a beautiful plant.
Say that again.
Elecampane.
Elecampane.
I don't know if I'm saying it right, but
close enough. I didn't know what it was.
It's a huge long word. That's really good for problems in the bronchial area, respiratory. Foxglove, of course, a lot of people know that one.
Digitalis?
Digitalis. I would never process it myself, and I wouldn't suggest anyone else.
No, not if it does major things with your heart.
Yes.
You wouldn't want to do that.
No, don't want enough of that.
No.
Let's see, what else we have. Comfrey is an excellent herb.
I just planted comfrey, and it also makes terrific compost.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
It does. Compost tea, especially.
Yep, for the plants, not for the people.
No.
Now, aloe. What does aloe need? I picked a half-dead one up, hoping I could nurse it back, and I planted it, and it just got totally dead. So I don't know.
You just never water it. That's my secret. Don't ever water it.
It got a lot of water where it was.
Yeah. And we have to bring ours into a greenhouse at the end of the year. We don't leave it out over the winter, obviously. It's not going to last. An excellent, I love this. This one's lovage. Brilliant taste, like celery, but you're using the leaves.
Oh, cool.
And that aids in digestion. It warms the heart, they say, and it's it's very.
Now, I've heard of it's marked borage. I've seen that used for tea, but it also looks like comfrey.
It does. It's similar. It has a similar look to comfrey.
Because the blue flowers.
The blue flowers are edible. You can sugar them, put them on cakes. And the saying goes, borage for courage. And that, it strengthens the heart, they say. It was used a lot in beers, and you can do several things with it, and there's something in it that makes you happy and courageous.
Yay.
So everyone needs a little bit of borage in their life.
Okay, dreamers, let's paint.
This is called feverfew or featherfew, and this is an excellent use for migraines.
Wow.
So a leaf or two a day. Chew it.
Itty bitty too. Those leaves.
It's pretty bitter, but some people put it in a sandwich, or you just take it with a glass of water. That's good for chronic headaches, migraines.
It's got little daisy flowers on top.
And it's a really cute little plant.
Yeah. Do you grow any chamomile here?
We do have chamomile on the other side. Sorrel, a lot of people are familiar with that.
Yeah.
Aids in digestion, especially with fatty meats. It's good to have some sorrel. And we have some marjoram. We have some wormwood.
Now, what's the wormwood used for?
Wormwood was commonly used for worms. You make a tea out of it, and it helps any worms inside you.
Okay.
Very good. Centellina is excellent for moth deterrent. They would put this in sachets and put it in your closet. Good for keeping fleas out.
I want to see what that smells like.
It kind of has a medicinal smell. It's kind of strong. Some people plant it on your patio and keep the mosquitoes away. Just kind of brush it every once in a while. Here we have our chamomile.
Oh yeah.
Some nice big carpets forming here.
That looks beautiful.
Pennyroyal, a very pungent herb, can be used for culinary uses. Also is used for worms in a larger dose. Sage. A lot of people say to pinch your herb flowers so you get better leaves, but you can use the flowers. A lot of the herb flowers, and even for presentation, is just gorgeous. So I always let my other things people know. Salad Burnett. This is a delicious plant. The leaves taste like cucumber.
Oh.
Nice to throw in with a salad, or your cucumbers and tomatoes dressed with, oil and vinegar, and just a really nice herb. It's nice to have some different greens.
All right, dreamers, I know you're all looking for your seed catalogs now to be trying to order some of these seeds.
Yes.
And here's your flowers.
There's lots of flowers.
They're beautiful. What are the fuchsia colored ones down here? They're standing out, so.
Those with the downy leaves.
Yeah.
That's called a rose campion. And that is a perennial.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful.
Think it'll grow in Maryland?
Yes.
Good. I'll have to get me some of that. I like it's got like a Dusty Miller color to the leaves. I really like that. And against the purple. So pretty.
And that's the only other thing I can think of is the Chaste Tree.
The what?
This is an excellent plant to have. It's a source of our stick as well. We cut from the same spot every year, and then it sends out suckers, and we use the canes in a lot of our
And what's the name of it?
Chaste Tree, or Vitex agnus castus.
Wow.
And this is still used medicinally today for women's complaints. You might have heard of chaste berries or Vitex berries.
Okay.
It's used for menopausal type problems, and a beautiful aromatic leaves.
Excellent. And could I have your name, please?
My name is Jenny.
Jenny, you've been a wonderful guide, and we thank you for all your expertise. And Dreamers, I'll be posting this as soon as I can, and enjoy. Thank you.